5% trapped my money, my pride, and my future because the recovery everyone promised never showed up.
I'm a commodities trader. I don't sell dreams. I sell copper, steel, soybeans, fuel. And I bet China would come back.
If China comes back, everything moves again. Shipping, factory construction, demand, prices, confidence.
Then the data hit. Consumption stayed weak, prices slipped, and one word crawled into every meeting: deflation.
Deflation doesn't explode. It freezes. And when people expect cheaper tomorrow, they stop buying today.
Weak consumption isn't abstract. It's fewer items in the basket, smaller totals, and a decision to save instead of spend. My broker texted, "Still holding the China recovery basket?" I didn't answer because I was no longer trading metal.
I was trading faith. I built the position on reopening, stimulus whispers, and that anchor number, around 5%.
5% wasn't just a forecast, it was a spell. And my leverage depended on the spell holding.
Falling prices sound friendly until you see the trap. When everything feels cheaper later becomes everyone's plan.
With leverage, time becomes a predator. Every weak print tightened the rope beneath my feet. When prices drift down, people wait. Why buy now if it's cheaper later? That waiting is economic ice.
The red wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, worse, like the market sighing, not screaming.
You can see hesitation at the ports. When orders slow, trucks disappear first. Then the entire logistics machine loses momentum. Every headline sounded controlled, never cured. Stabilized, not fixed. And the doubt kept compounding. Then I saw the Ghost City footage. Perfect from above, lifeless below. A warning light made of concrete. Those towers aren't just buildings, they're demand. Steel, copper, cement, fuel. When buyers vanish, the whole chain goes quiet. In a ghost city, you start measuring life by small movements. That's what markets do too. Search for proof that belief returned.
I was trapped between rescue and reform. Rescue is quick, reform is painful, and markets hate waiting.
Rescue gives a sugar rush, credit, projects, headlines. Reform rebuilds the body, slowly, by admitting debt and stopping bad bets. Support headlines can buy time. But if households don't trust the future, time is all you've bought.
My trades were tied to one balloon, 5%. If it stayed afloat, my basket worked. If it sagged, everything sank. I told them.
I realized it wasn't just China. The world leans on China. Miners, shippers, brands, factories.
At 2:17 a.m., the chart stopped being data. It became a cage, because traders don't only lose money.
The deflation fear is simple. Wait. Millions of tiny wait decisions can turn a slowdown into a freeze. We lose narratives. And losing a narrative feels like losing your identity, especially after you sold it with confidence. Promises create expectations. Budgets, hiring, loans. People build lives around a number. Breaking it risks panic. Weak spending plus falling prices can become a loop. The fear of tomorrow rewires behavior today. Businesses mirror households. When demand feels uncertain, expansion becomes pause. And pause spreads through supply chains. My risk limits weren't philosophical. They were mechanical. Every tick closer to margin forced a decision I didn't want. The more I read, the less I believed. The recovery story wasn't dead yet, but it wasn't alive either. I could hold and pray for rescue, or cut and accept the new story. Either choice carried regret. Because you can't live in GDP. You live in paychecks, confidence, and whether you believe your future will improve. Property wasn't just an asset, it was confidence. When confidence cracks, households don't spend, they brace. Deflation makes time dangerous. The longer people wait, the weaker demand gets, and the weaker demand makes people wait. Deflation is psychological. It's the moment the economy's heart rate slows, and everyone pretends it's temporary. A ghost city is supply without belief. It's yesterday's model still standing, even after the buyer disappeared. I wasn't in control. Markets demanded speed.
Policy demanded stability, and I was caught at the knot.
Then a veteran asked me one question that cut through everything. What exactly are you holding? Products or belief? The headline can be loud. The lived reality, be quiet. And quiet is where turning points begin. He didn't care about tickers. He cared about assumptions. Household spending, businesses investing, confidence returning. That is when it clicked. 5% isn't a destination. It's a negotiation between rescue now and reform later. He told me, markets follow trust, not slogans. You can push numbers upward, but you can't command confidence on demand.
Yeah.
Repeating a number can anchor belief or reveal anxiety. Sometimes leaders repeat it because belief is slipping.
So I cut exposure. Not because I quit on China, but because I stopped pretending my timeline was infinite.
I finally admitted what I was trading. The gap between headline growth and felt growth, the kind people actually experience. Reducing exposure felt like admitting weakness, but it was actually respecting uncertainty and refusing to worship one number. Felt growth lives in choices: buying, hiring, moving, planning. When fear wins, the whole economy moves slower.
Later, I saw another drone shot. This time, I didn't smirk. I watched for signs of life, lights, movement, confidence.
The streets don't speak in percentages. They speak in footsteps, shopping bags, job offers, and whether a place feels alive. So the real question isn't 5%. It's this: will policy rebuild belief or only postpone the fear? If rescue wins, markets may bounce fast, then face the same ghosts later. If reform wins, pain comes first, then foundations. Either way, the world will feel it. Commodities, shipping, manufacturing, finance. That's why this story matters beyond China. Because when demand hesitates, commodities don't just fall, they lose rhythm. And rhythm is what keeps global trade alive. The loud debate is always the number.
Yeah.
The quiet reality is behavior. And behavior is where deflation hides.